Shalom, this is Barazal coming in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect, push his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is going to be titled Stay in the Spirit. And, it's going to be a quick one, but an important one nonetheless, because staying in the Spirit is the most important thing. So etymology.com, right? Using the etymology app. Spirit, mid-13th century, animating or vital principle in man and animals, right? It's about the spirit, you're dead. The spirit is what you are. That's your energy. That's who you are, right? These vessels are just something you're inhabiting for the period of time while you're on the planet. It goes in a spirit, soul, and directly from Latin spiritus, a breathing, respiration, and a wind. It's funny because that talks about. All right, there you go, breath of God, right? And you go in Genesis where Most High talks about, putting the spirit into Adam, like giving the breath, right? But the thing is, Adam was already, or man, I should say, was already alive at that point. He already had spirit. But the breath is the Holy Scriptures, right? The understanding of everything, right? Inspiration, breath of life, hence life, also disposition, character, high spirit, vigor, courage, pride, arrogance, right? These are the negative traits. Okay, so Galatians 5:16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh, right? So the spirit is connected to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, right? And Yahweh, which the scriptures, label as God, right? What everyone else calls God, is the Father of spirits. Yeah, he's the Father of spirits. So if you stay in the spirit, right, you be connected to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, because you can't get to Yahweh without Yahweh Shai. So you be connected to both of them. But once you jump out of the spirit and you're in the flesh, then Satan can get you, right? You see how that works. But it's hard because we're in these fleshly bodies. Hence, that's why these are called chains of darkness, right? So when you're in the flesh, when you're doing fleshly things, when you're in the world, it's harder to keep your connection or keep your focus on Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai when you're doing worldly things all the time, right? Hence why we're supposed to separate ourselves from the world, because we're not of the world, right? When you're doing spiritual things all the time, it's easy to stay in the spirit. It's a lot easier. And when you're around brothers that are in the spirit, it's even more easier, right? But at the same time, you do need to build your strength and build your foundation, so you stay rooted. So even when you're by yourself, you can still stay in the spirit when Satan tries to pull you into the flesh, right? So it says, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. It's very simple. Because when you're in the spirit, you can see when the flesh is trying to get at you. But when you're in the flesh, you can't see it. When you're doing fleshly things, you can't see it. When you're doing carnal things, you can't see it because you're already in that state of mind. So how are you supposed to see something that's coming at you? That's carnal. That's wicked. That's meant to make you go off, right? Verse 17, for the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, right? It's like oil and water. They don't mix. They're constantly fighting. And these are contrary the one to the other. There you go. So that ye cannot do the things that ye would, right? So the things that you want to do, right? Like the scriptures say, the spirit is willing, but the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, right? So you want to do the spiritual things. You want to do the right thing. You want to do the things that will please Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. But the flesh is pulling you in the other direction. It's like, no, let's not do that. Let's do this. And on top of it, this world is a satanic kingdom that's carnal, that's wicked. So it's this whole vibration that we are in on this planet is to make you do fleshly, carnal things. And on top of it, you're trapped in chains of darkness that's flesh. So you have to really, the only thing you have is the scriptures, really. Yes, you do have the brothers and brotherhood, but at the same time, you're alone, even though you're not really alone because you have Yahweh Shem El Shai. But like, if you understand what I'm saying, when you're by yourself, like you need to build up your strength. So when these fleshy things come at you, you're able to defend yourself against them, right? So that I'll read it again, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would, right? But if ye led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law, right? So now we're going to go to, and when it says under the law, it's under the law of the flesh. That's what it's referring to, right? Because you're in the Spirit. So we're going to go to Amos 5:14. Amos 5:14, see good and not evil, that ye may live. So basically what I just said, if you see good things, which are righteous things, which are spiritual things that are pleasing unto Yahweh Shem El Shai, you're not going to do evil, right? Now, it doesn't mean you won't go off, because we're not perfect, but you're less likely to go off, right? You're going to make less mistakes. You're going to be able to, you're going to slip less, See good and not evil, that ye may live, right? And so the Lord Yahweh, the power of hosts, power of spirits, shall be with you as ye have spoken, right? And basically what I just said. So like, if you stay in the Spirit, the Most High Yahweh Shem El Shai will be with you. If you don't, then Satan's there waiting to get you like a lion. James 1:22 this is the last one. James 1:22, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only. So you need to do what the scriptures say, because it's good to listen and it's good to read, but you have to apply, because if you're not applying, it's not being ingrained into your brain. That's another title. Ingrained into your brain. Right? So it's not going to be ingrained into your brain because you're not applying anything, right? So you need to apply the things the scriptures say constantly, right? And yes, it's tiring, but the scriptures also say this is not our rest. So we're not supposed to be resting here. We're not supposed to be getting comfortable here, because as soon as you get comfortable, you get weak, right? And you're more prone to to attack because you're not paying attention, right? Because you're relaxed. Right? It doesn't mean you can't have moments where you relax and maybe drink some wine and whatever, but even when you're doing that, you still want to be thinking upon spiritual things, right? But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves, right? For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. So he's just looking at himself. Right. Well, he's looking at himself, but not seeing anything. Right. Because it says, for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he's like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. Verse 24, for he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. Yeah. So he just follows his own self because he's only looking at himself. He's not looking on Yahweh Shem El Shai. That's why it says on a natural glass. So he's only looking at himself. He's like, oh yeah, I can do it. I did this. This was me. This is me. Yeah, I can. You know what I mean? He's thinking carnally because he's forgetting that Yahweh Shem El Shai is the one to give you all these things. Right? Right? And the reason why he's doing that is because he's not applying the scriptures. Hence why it said in verse 22, but be ye doers of the word. So you have to apply. So once you apply the scriptures, you know this is of Yahweh Shem El Shai. You're following him. You're not following yourself. Right? Anyways, I really hope this was edifying and brought some enlightenment to anyone who watches this, because we have to stay in the spirit, because this kingdom is wicked to Satanic kingdom, and the vibration gets heavier and heavier every single day to try to make you get out of the spirit and be in the flesh. So you just got to keep praying, keep fasting if you have to fast, keep reading, keep studying, and keep begging for mercy, Shalom.